Equations, Part 1. In today's lesson, students will learn how to solve equations by subtracting a number from both sides. By doing what? Very good. So we're going to begin to learn about equations. Now, what does the word equation sound like? Does it sound like equal, equation, equal? Or as Mr. Cotran says, equation. Does it sound like equal? Yes. Okay, so now remember with expressions, they did not have an equal sign. Well, whenever you have an equation, that's going to be an expression, but now you're going to see equal signs. So let's go ahead and fill this in. So, equation. An equation is a statement that says two expressions are, they're what? What is an equation? Equation has a equal sign. So two expressions are equal. Okay, they're equal. Now, when you talk about an equation must be balanced. Okay, it has to be balanced. Because if you're saying that two things are equal, okay, if two things are equal, you're going to end up with something that is balanced. Now, what does balanced mean? It means that what you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. Okay, so what you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other side. So now I'm going to show you a demonstration of an equation. The most important thing you must remember is that equations need to be balanced. They need to be what? Balanced. This is an example of a balance. There are two sides, the red side and the yellow side. And because they are balanced or level, this arrow in the center will point right to the middle. Now, what if I add something to one side of this balance? Let's take 3 gobstoppers and add it to the red side of the balance. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I put 3 gobstoppers on the red side of this balance. Okay, now what happened? Which side is heavier now? The red side or the yellow side? The red side, right? It went down. Is this in the center? No, it is not balanced. Now the center, I want you to think of an invisible equal sign. There's what? An invisible equal sign. So because there's an equal sign and it's saying that this has to equal this, well, it doesn't. They're not equal. So what must I do to the yellow side of the balance to make it level again? If I added 3 to one side, what should I do to the other side? What do you think? I should add what? 3? Yes, I should add 3 gobstoppers. So look what happens when I add 3 to this side. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. So we're going to see what happens. We added 3 to both sides now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so look at what's happening. Is it becoming balanced or level? Yes, because this little black arrow is pointing to the center. So now, if this was an equation, it's balanced. What I did to one side, I did to the other. If you add 3 on this side, you have to add 3 on this side. Okay, so you can also do the opposite. All right, what is the opposite of addition? The opposite of addition is subtraction. So what if I want to take 2 away from the red side? I'm going to go ahead and remove 2 gobstoppers. All right. Uh-oh! Is this balanced? No. Which side is heavier? Which side is down? It's the yellow side, right? So now this is no longer balanced. What must I do to the yellow side to make this balanced? Remember what I did here? I took away 2. What do I have to do here? Take away 2. That's right. Okay. So if I take away 2 gobstoppers from this side, now they both have 1 gobstopper. Delicious. And do you see what the balance is doing? This scale is balancing. It's becoming level. So now, right in the center, it's going to be in the middle. Okay? So is this balanced now? Yes. So this demonstration shows you that with an equation, repeat after me, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. Say it again. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Very good. So this is an example of an equation. And again, if you look at this equation, does it have an equal sign? Yes. Is there an expression? X plus 2? Remember, an expression is a variable, an operation, and a number. X plus 2. But now, this is telling you that X plus 2 equals 5. Okay? So we're not using substitution anymore. This is saying, here's how you read this. What number plus 2 more would give you 5? Think about it. Think about it. What number, if you add 2 more to it, is going to give you 5? Okay. Anybody know already? Anybody know? Okay, good. So listen, here is how you would, and we call this solve for x. X is an unknown. X is a what? It's an unknown, okay? And it could be any letter. This is just the variable. This is the letter that I chose, x, because it's the most common variable. Okay, so if I want to figure this out, if I want to solve for x, there is a method that we use, okay? And what you start doing is you say, okay, look at the equal sign. What I want you to do is draw a T. So the T is upside down. See, the line goes through the equal side. And then you're going to leave some space. It's an upside down T. Okay, can everybody do that? So you left some space for right under the equation. Because what we need to do is we need to solve for x. Now, the way that you do that is you say, okay, I know that I want to figure out what x is, so I'm going to circle the variable. Do what? Circle the variable. Okay. Now look at the number that is next to the variable. It's positive 2, right? Positive 2? Okay. So now I'm going to ask you, what is the opposite of positive 2? The opposite. The opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So right underneath positive 2, I'm going to write negative 2. Now, remember, an equation must be balanced. What does that mean? Repeat after me. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. So here's the equal sign. We subtracted 2 from this side. Now we have to go to the other side of the equal sign. Okay? And what do we have to do? If we subtracted 2 from here, what do we have to do here? We have to subtract 2. Okay? All right. So now what we can do is take a look at positive 2 and negative 2. Now, whenever you have a positive number and a negative number, and they're the same number, like positive 2 and negative 2, they make 0. So you're going to cross it off like this. because now that goes away. A positive 2 and a negative 2 is like saying 2 minus 2. 2 take away 2 is 0. And now you're going to go ahead and bring down the variable. Bring down x. You're going to say, well, now I just have x, and it is going to equal 5 take away 2. 5 take away 2. So what is 5 minus 2? Say 5, 4, 3. So x equals positive 3, and then you're going to put a box around the number. Now, if you want to, what you can do is you can say, okay, if x equals 3, can I check my work? Can I substitute 3 back into this equation? Okay, so take a look at it. I'm going to write the equation one more time. The original equation was x plus 2 equals 5. Remember, it's a statement that has to be true. So let's go ahead and substitute 3 in the place of x, okay, because x is 3, okay? So is 3 plus 2, does it equal 5? Is that true? Is it true? Yes, it is. So I want you to make a check. Let's try another example. This equation, read it with me, it says x plus 3 equals 8. So the first thing that you have to do is make a t through the equal sign. So we're going to make this t like this, all right? This helps us to know that this equation has to be balanced. This is one side of the equation, x plus 3. The other side is 8. All right. Now we want to figure out what x is, right? Solve for x. What number plus 3 would give you 8? What number plus 3 would give you 8? So I want you to circle the x. You're trying to find that, okay? Now, look at the number that is next to x. The number next to x is positive 3. What is it? Positive 3. Now, in order to solve for x, you have to do the opposite of this number that's next to x. What is the opposite of positive 3? What is the opposite of positive 3? It is negative 3. That's right. So you're going to do negative 3. Now, you must remember what you do to one side of the t, you have to do to the other. So if I do negative 3 on this side, I have to also do negative 3 on the other side. All right. Now, we're going to take a look at the numbers. What is positive 3 and negative 3? I want you to say positive 3 and negative 3 make 0. And you don't have to write 0. What I want you to write on this side is you're going to bring down the x, because x is the only thing that would be left on this side. Now, what does x equal? Because we're trying to figure out what is the value of x. So x is 8 take away 3. So what is 8 take away 3? We say 8, 7, 6, 5. So x equals 5. The last step to this is now you could actually use substitution to plug it back into the original equation. The equation that we were working with was x plus 3 equals 8. Okay, so if x is 5 and I want to use substitution to put the number in the place of the letter, then I'll say, okay, well, x is 5. Is 5 plus 3, does that equal 8? Is that true? Is that a true statement? 5 plus 3, is it true? Yes, it is. So you make a check mark. Very good. Let's look at our last example, example 2. Read this equation with me. It says x plus 10 equals 13. Okay, so the first step is to make a t, and we call this the t-bone steak. You put it through the equal sign. You make a t. Now the t-bone separates both sides of the equation. This side says x plus 10. The other side says 13. Now we want to solve for x. We want to solve for what is x? What number plus 10 would give you 13? Okay, so you're going to circle x because you're looking for x. Now look at the number next to what you circled. What number is this? What number is this? Positive 10, right? Positive 10. All right, what is the opposite of positive 10? Or think, what's the opposite of addition? The opposite of addition is subtraction. So you're going to subtract 10 from both sides. Does that make sense? If you put a negative 10 on this side, you have to put a negative 10 on the other side. All right. So now we take a look at the numbers. What is positive 10 and negative 10? Okay, positive 10 and negative 10 make 0. Right? Like 10 take away 10. Then you're going to put an arrow, and you're going to bring down x. Now, what does x equal? X equals 13 take away 10. So what is 13 take away 10? Well, 3 take away 0 is what? 3 take away nothing is 3, and 1 take away 1 is nothing. So x equals 3. All right, x equals 3. Now our last step is to check. Make sure that x does equal 3 by using substitution. Using what? Substitution. So look at the original equation. The equation we started with was x plus 10 equals 13, right? So we say x plus 10 equals 13. Can we substitute 3 in the place of x? Yes, if x is 3, that means you could put 3 in the place of x. So you say, all right, well, x is 3. That's what's in parentheses, right? Then I'm going to add 10. Does that give me 13? Is 3 plus 10 13? Is it? Yes, it is. Very good. So you're going to go ahead and check it off. Very nice.